Happy New Year, everyone. We hope you've gotten some much needed rest and some special time with your family and friends over the holidays. You know, the holidays are always so busy and crazy for our family.
You're not kidding.
Yeah, I know. It usually ends with this big bang at Christmas time. And then there's this quiet kind of lull where things seem to slow down just for a moment. And I always like to take this time to reflect and evaluate the year behind me and then look ahead to what's coming in the new year. Now, 2021 was really a great year for so many reasons at our church. We had a full year of in-person gatherings, and it was so wonderful to see smiling faces and to be together again. We had so many new people find us at River Point and at West End. It was so great to meet so many new people. And we had some amazing life decisions, life-changing decisions, to either save a marriage or to be baptized, even to join our church, to serve and to give. We also completed a 3-year campaign called Love Well, which resulted in this beautiful coffee house that we're sitting in right now. And now it's being used to reach so many people in our community.
Well, Love Well did more than just a coffee house. It impacted all 3 of our campuses. We also did something called Be Rich, and that was back in September. And that was an exciting opportunity for us to give above and beyond the budget so that we can support all of our missions partners for 2022. So we're starting out the new year now, ready to make an impact, not just locally, but globally, around the world, for as far away as my friends in Cuba, Africa, as well as right here in our communities, all 3 of our communities. Now, I have to mention this. 2021 was an amazing year for a lot of reasons. Personally, my wife became an author. She authored her first book called Love Soup, and it's much more than just a cookbook, I have to brag. It has devotions, it has stories, it has pictures. It's amazing. And if you haven't picked up your copy of Love Soup, I'm shamelessly plugging the book, right? Also, 2022, we celebrate something incredibly special.
That's right.
What do you think it is?
We are going to celebrate 34 years of marriage in February.
Yes. Well, that wasn't exactly what I was thinking.
Oh.
34 years is good, but no. 2022, in just a couple of weeks, marks 1 year of the beard. That's right. 1 year of the beard. I'm getting a t-shirt made. Maybe you want one. It says 1 year of the beard. But maybe there's something else we should also celebrate.
There is something else. In 2022, our church will celebrate its 25-year anniversary.
I cannot believe it.
It's so hard to believe that 25 years ago, we were setting up every week, tearing down every week at the club in New Territory. And do you remember me going to Target probably 10, maybe 20 times to pick up equipment and childcare toys and things like that? And then
jamming it into our minivan?
As much as I could at one time. And then we came home, and about 2 weeks prior to that very first service, we had the Beelans over, the Gibsons, the Smiths, the Riedlingers, and we did lots of praying. But in between praying, we put together toys and equipment. We even sewed together curtains to use as a backdrop for our band.
It's just so hard to believe. I remember loading up a truck and for all of our sound equipment, setting up, and it wouldn't be too often, but from time to time I'd get a call early in the morning that our truck was stuck in the mud because of where we had to park it. It was a problem. Every week we had some sort of problem. Those were great years, and 25 years later, so many amazing things have happened. Now, listen, here's what I've said over and over again. You've probably heard me say it. We never thought the church would make, with me being the pastor and having 4 small children, but we started off with this idea of faithfulness. Success was not the key to River Point or to West End. It was all about faithfulness. Now, here's what I want to challenge you with 2022 as we begin this new year. I want you to make an important distinction in your own life between success and faithfulness, because we live in a culture that worships success. And yet God's asking us as followers of Jesus to be faithful. Now, we all like to have success in 2022. I want success. Lisa wants success. We all do. I'm not saying to abandon your ambitions. I'm just saying, should it be the primary goal for the next 12 months, to be success. Let's think about 2022 in terms of faithfulness. We can trust that some success will follow if faithfulness is the forefront primary motivation for us. Here's what it says in Psalm 127. It says, unless the Lord builds the house, the builders labor in vain. So we want God to build something in our lives. We don't want to just labor and build something and hope God blesses it. We want God to do something. We want to see God move in our lives, in our communities, in our families over the next 12 months. We want to see God in action, right? Here's another psalm that I love. The heart of a man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps, Psalm 16:9. And we want God to establish our steps. Now, here's what we typically do at the beginning of the year. At the beginning of the year, what we typically do is we have all these audacious goals and these things that we want to do, and we ask God, we beg God oftentimes to bless us and to give us favor and to provide for us and to show up in big ways. Maybe we take this year and do something different. Maybe we don't walk off in our own direction and hope somewhere along the way God meets us and blesses us or shows up. I heard a pastor friend of mine say it this way, Crawford Loritz. He says, being a Christian is not a reference point for our lives, but it is the context for our lives. Our relationship with God is how we see everything else in our lives and everything else over the next 12 months. So a surrendered life is about saying to Jesus, not my will, God, but yours. What a great way to start 2022 by saying this prayer. Lord, not my will, but yours. So take your dreams and your goals and your aspirations and all your hopes for the new year and give them to God. I mean, just spiritually lay them at his feet. Lay them aside and say, it's not your passions that are a problem. Say, God, I want your will to be done. It's not that your goals are wrong or that they're not important. Listen to me. Freaking out here. It's your dreams that God directs and guides. These dreams and goals, if you listen to the culture we live in, will tell you that's what you should follow. Follow your heart. Follow your dreams. Follow your passions. I want to follow Jesus in 2022. These just aren't primary for us. I'm sorry, I talk so much.
No, and I'm maybe repeating a little bit of what you said, but I know that there's so many people, including myself, that are taking some pretty heavy burdens into 2022. And we all want everything that we're worrying about to kind of just work out. That's what I want. And I think that that's a normal thought process for most of us. The problem with that is that we have a lot less control over the outcome than what we think. Maybe it's something that you're worrying about is about your marriage, or maybe it's about your kids, or maybe you're single and you want to be married, or your finances are in a poor condition, or your health is in poor condition. Whatever it is, there are some things that you can do and things that we should do. And I think one thing is that we can learn to rely on God to lead our way, to guide us, to order our steps. Not just asking God for his blessings over our hopes and dreams and our wants and our needs, but to surrender our hopes and our dreams and our fears and our burdens to God. 1 Peter says it this way, 1 Peter 5:7, give all your worries to him because he cares about you. He cares about us. So in 2022, what if we could start the year with the sense that God is in control and not everything is riding on our shoulders, that we're not, that we're not in control of all that we think that we can be.
Or we have to be responsible for everything.
Absolutely. That's such a heavy burden.
Maybe God is supposed to be the leader and God is supposed to be responsible.
Absolutely. God cares so much about us that he's got this, that he can work out the details of all of our worries to so that it's best for us, right? It's about who is in charge of our life. Right? It's who is in control of our life. Is it you? Is it God?
I know you have hopes and dreams, and I feel like a dream killer here because our culture is so addicted to this idea of success and your hopes, your dreams, and all that stuff. So maybe, just think about this, will you? Instead of starting out this year with resolutions and audacious goals, what if you started 2022 with a deeper sense of submitting and surrendering to God? Surrendering, that's the idea of following Jesus. So here's some things that might help you start your year off right. Maybe the words of Jesus will help you. Here's what he says when it came to following him. He told his disciples, here's what he says. Listen, well, actually, look at this verse. It's in the book of Matthew. It says this, if anyone would come after me, let him, say that word out loud, ready, everybody, deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. And whoever would save his life will lose his life. But whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. Matthew 16, 24 and 25. So what do Jesus' words, what is this direction, what is this concept, this context for your life, what does that mean for 2022? There's something here about following Jesus in the new year with a renewed sensitivity. So here's some things. Decide, this is your choice, decide whether you want to follow Jesus or just have his blessings. Mm-hmm. I mean, do you want religion and try to earn God's favor and get and feel like everything that good comes from God and everything that isn't good, you wonder where God is? Or do you just want to follow Jesus through the mountaintops and the valleys of 2022? Here's the second thing. Move yourself out of the center of your life. It's God's will. It's God's plan, not yours. Not all your dreams coming true is really what you want. You're not as good a dreamer as you think you are. I know I'm not.
Me either.
You can have all your dreams come true and still not be happy. Your dreams coming true isn't the key to your happiness. Your joy and your sense of contentment and your peace come from God. So look for God's direction. Open your Bible in 2022. Start in the book of John. Start with prayer. Have this conversation with God. Go back and review the prayer sermon we did. It was called, what was the sermon series called? It was called Beyond the Wish List. You should go back to YouTube and see Beyond the Wish List. So ask God for wisdom and lose your life for God's sake. Then the promise is you'll find a life that you could not even imagine. I think that's the story of River Point in West End. I mean, we had hopes to fail quickly. I mean, really, that was our hope. We had 25 years later, we have a life that God put together because we followed him, and faithfulness has been the key. Now, I hope many more will find their way back to church in 2022, attending in person. I so appreciate my mom, who I know is watching today, who watches, and Deanie up in Northwest Arkansas, and our friends in Little Rock, and people as far as ways Africa, and all the people that can't make it to Houston. But I'm hoping, if you live in the Houston area and you've stayed away, I hope you feel secure enough and safe enough to find your way to a place to serve with us, so that you can be in a fellowship, you can be in a great group of people around you, and you can be part of a fellowship and a church that encourages your life to surrender and follow God. I've talked way too much.
No, you haven't. That's so good, babe. Yes. But it will take faith, right?
Yeah.
We can't do any of this without having faith or finding this. Maybe it's new for you to put your faith in God. We have to learn that God wants his best for us, and we have to believe that. And it's also going to take prayer in the new year, talking to God. You're going to have to duke it out with God a little bit. Bring your worries to him. Bring your concerns to him. Talk it out with God, and you will have to surrender.
Yes.
Regularly and intentionally, not just once, but you have to do it over and over again. Surrender to God. We let ourselves get in the way, and you can't let that happen if you're really going to give it over to God.
We take our life back so often. So here's the thing. I hope you'll join us next week as we begin a brand new series. It's called Let's Get Fit. And we're going to talk about getting fit, not just physically fit. Can you imagine me giving advice on how to get physically fit? I mean, look at me. I'm a mess. But we're going to try it. But we're going to talk about spiritual fitness. We're going to talk about relational fitness. We're going to talk about church fitness. We're going to talk about all kinds of fitnesses. And yes, we are going to talk about physical fitness. And here's the good news. We're trying to put together, okay, a 5K. Is that what those are called?
Yep.
I think it's a thing where you run for a distance. You know, we're trying to put that together at some point. So be looking for more news on the 5K. And we're going to announce that during the Let's Get Fit series, okay? We're hoping to put that together. We don't know if it's going to work or not. But hey, so join us next week as we start Let's Get Fit. Now, here's the thing. To really kick off 2020 year, you have to do a couple of things. Possibly. I don't know. Maybe your life is totally right. But maybe if you're going to mark faithfulness as the priority for this year, maybe you begin with an apology to somebody. That the faithful thing to do is to apologize. Or maybe the faithful thing to do is to get help in an area of your life where you've been resistant to get help. Or maybe being faithful means to step forward and to volunteer and to serve in one of our mission partners or at our church or giving your life away. Maybe being faithful is saying other people matter more than I do, and I'm going to serve and give my life away and be part of this mission. I don't know what being faithful is. It's not a concept, though. It's not an abstraction. It's tangible. So maybe there's a habit you got to stop, or maybe there's got to be something you got to start. Maybe there's a place where you need to be honest. I don't know what faithful looks like for you. God's designed that for you. So all you got to do is say, God, where can I start? Now, here's the great thing about faithfulness. You get to begin where you are. Mm-hmm. Regardless of what happened yesterday or 2021, 2022 is here. And you get to begin today to be faithful. So whatever you know to do, do it. And whatever you know to stop doing it. And just take one step forward to be faithful. And I believe that 2022 will be a great year for our church and for you. And I'm sure success, you that are worried about success, forget that for a minute. Faithfulness comes first and success will follow, I promise. So let's pray and let's ask God to be faithful people that follow Jesus into 2022. Pray with me. Father in heaven, we thank you for our church. 25 years of work and ministry and so many lives that have been impacted. We thank you for everybody watching today, and I pray that we'd all be challenged to be found faithful. That at the end of the day, it won't be our success or our bank accounts or our trophies in life. It will be the fact that we followed Jesus and that we were found faithful. And one day, we'll stand before you, and the words we really want to hear is, well done, good and faithful servant. God, we really want to hear those words. So I pray for everybody watching today or listening. I pray that you'd give them the courage to be faithful and to get off this ideal that success is all that matters. It is really all about faithfulness. We pray that you would lead us to be a faithful mission that honors Jesus in 2022. And it's in his name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. God bless you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.